Hello my little storm clouds, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. Today I am creating a Swamp Witch's cottage, sort of. I started building this in Willow Creek as a part of my fantasy save file, but I've decided it doesn't really fit in this world, so I'll most probably be moving it to another world, but it will still be a part of the fantasy save file. But since it's not a part of Willow Creek, I have already uploaded it to the gallery, so if you do want to get this, it is StormDesignYT on the gallery. And this is a very tiny home. It is over 3 levels. On the first level we have the kitchen and living area, as well as a little area for knitting. On the second level we have the bedroom, a little reading nook and a bathroom, and then on the top level we have a cauldron, and that is the only thing that is in there. So yeah, it is pretty tiny, and I really wanted to focus more on the swampy area around it, so that's why I kept it pretty small in here. I sort of wish I did it on a bigger lot so I could add more, but I've done it on this lot and I didn't want to change it partway through. But there is quite a lot going on in the swampy area. I ended up adding stilts to this and adding a pond going underneath the building, and some stairs going up to the front of the cottage. I am working on another building currently that is going to be on Willow Creek. I've got the main sort of building done, as well as some of the interior. I decided to do a library because I just felt like this world needed one, and I wanted to do other things other than residential lots, and it is a rather large library, and the idea is the bottom is going to be your normal standard place. On the second bit we've got chess tables as well as some more books, and then there is a secret library upstairs with all the ancient tomes and scrolls and stuff like that. But just to let you know, I am doing my fantasy save file still in the background. That is for Willow Creek, and I will be doing a cemetery as soon as the new pack comes out. I'm super excited for this pack. It looks absolutely amazing. I literally can't wait to get my hands on it and start playing with it. Just the fact that we can have cemeteries by the looks of it. And by looking at the trailer that just came out yesterday, some of the items look so beautiful, and it's making me want to go back into my other builds and slightly change them or add some things from just what I've seen. I noticed there was a swing set and a monkey bars set. I don't feel like we've got a monkey bars set in a while. I feel like the last one could have been from the Romantic Garden pack. Is there only 2 monkey bar sets? I don't know. But yeah, it looks like we're going to get a swing set and a monkey bar set that looks all creepy. It's black wrought iron, and it looks beautiful. So I'm going to have to create some form of park with those, and I think Willow Creek will be a good place for that, to match the medieval stuff but still have a park for kids to be able to play in. But anyway, back to this build. I'm talking too much about other builds. I mean, there's not really much going on with this build because it is so small. I stuck with the dark woods. I love this roofing with the moss on it. It is from the Werewolves pack, but it is pretty much just all wooden and, like I said, very tiny. I think I do end up expanding things a little bit because I was really struggling to fit everything in. I think the downstairs might stay this size, or do I? No, I expand it one backwards so I can fit the living area in. And it is very cozy and tight, but everything is functional. I did playtest it all. I did add a little deck area going all the way around, and added a little seat down there, and I ended up adding a beehive, I think it is, or was it an insect? I think it was a beehive I ended up adding. And I was going to do this off the grid and just use candles for light and stuff like that, but because I really wanted to do the green smoke stuff that I do that comes through the floor to give it that swampy look, I decided to not, because to do that I have to use the steam vents and then use lights that are on the ground to light the steam vent colouring up to a specific colour. So I ended up doing it so it was on the grid, but I still tried to mainly use actual candlelight inside the building. Also, I did see, again, I'm going to talk about the new pack just because I'm so excited for it, and it sort of fits in because this is sort of Halloween themed and a bit creepy. If you look at the trailer, there's roofing with holes in it, and I'm wondering whether that's going to be a sticker thing or it's going to be the actual roof, so you have to use a specific roof tile. I'm not sure because it's in different areas, but that is going to be fantastic for rundown builds, and I'm oh, it could look good on here if I could still use the roofing that I'm using, and if it was just a decal on the roof, that would be fantastic. I have a feeling it's going to be a part of the roofing though. It's going to be really sad if it is, but anyway, it still looked really, really good and I'm super excited for it. And I just had to talk about it because it was one thing I like spotted almost straight away, because the first thing I do when I'm looking at these trailers is look at the build buy stuff. And I don't know if anybody else notices that there is the Wednesday dance at one point you see in the background. I think as well, is it right up close? I think you see it twice. Up close, the main character's doing the Wednesday dance, and then somebody in the background is doing it later on. So I wasn't sure how I wanted the bed appear or what style of bed I wanted, so I tried a few, and I really like this just really simple wooden one because it's more like cottagey looking. I decided to go with that. And I do end up changing the shape of this and ended up just doing it a squared off room because it was awkward enough to fit something down here anyway. So I ended up just doing it squared off and putting a bookcase in that little one square tile. So there's like a little nook, the chair's at the other side, so your sim can sit and read from that nook. I'm also sorry if I sound strange, I am so congested right now. As soon as it gets cold, my body just shuts down and I get congested, and I'm most probably going to sound like this through the entirety of autumn and winter, just because I feel like I'm permanently sick when it's cold. Even though I don't leave the house to see anybody, I'm just always sick. I also really want to thank everybody. I put a community post up, was it about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, about my mum finally finishing her cancer treatment. She did do radiation. She had surgery first because she had breast cancer. I've already talked about this. So she had the surgery to remove the majority of it, and then radiation just to make sure everything is gone, and she did complete that treatment. So she is technically cancer free. She obviously needs to be checked up on. I don't know how often her appointments are. I don't get to see my mum a lot because I don't live anywhere nearby. So when I do go see her, it's really nice. I went to see her during the surgery. Sadly, I couldn't see her during the radiation because I just couldn't take any time off from doing content, or I don't have enough money to pay my bills. But I rang her every day and asked how her treatment was going, and yeah, I'm just so relieved, and it's just made me feel like I can make my fantasy save file again. I was sort of like holding back a little bit, and I didn't even realise I was doing this, that it was actually affecting me so much mentally, because I just felt like I had to be the strong one. I am an older sister. I do have an older brother, but I've got 2 younger sisters, and I just feel like I have to be the strong one for them. So like when I went down during my mum's surgery, it was mainly to look after my sisters, and I was like cooking, cleaning, all of that, and making sure they were okay, as well as looking after my mum after the surgery. But I think I actually ended up doing a lot of the outside off camera. I just totally forgot to end up recording, so you don't see much of me doing it, but all I did, like I said, was add the pond. I added a lot of like rocks and plants. I added some ducks in the pond. I added some taller trees. I added ones from Debug, so when you're playing in this, if you decide you want to play in it, the trees do disappear when you like zoom in, so they shouldn't get in the way. I think that's the great thing about Debug. Trees and plants, they disappear when you get close, so great for gameplay. I had to add, like, was it mosquitoes or did I add dragonflies? I think it was dragonflies I ended up adding, as well as fireflies. I always love adding fireflies. Add some movement at night, really love it. I also added some wisps, and I have a little trick on this, but basically it's just the wisps from Outdoor Retreat that are in the tank. You size down the tank as small as they can go. I use tool mod, so you can't even see the tank, and you just see the wisps just floating. They're like little blue flames, and I just thought that was perfect for like a swamp thingy, and they go all the way up to the front of the house, like they're leading you to the house. But I really wanted to do a smaller build because all of my builds at the minute are absolutely humongous, and like I said, the library that I'm doing is absolutely humongous. It takes up almost the full lot, which was not my intention. It just ended up growing and growing and growing and getting bigger. So it's just how it is sometimes. So I'm just going in and adding like the final little details that I do on camera. I adding plants and little ornaments. I added some potions around the place just as little decorative items. And I added some plants that are like hanging from the tops of the house. I actually ended up using tool mod and bringing these down from the top, so when you walls down they do disappear, because I was worried they were just going to be floating in the way. But that is pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!